Welcome back to Project 94 for another diecast review here on the channel. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Kurt Busch, not Daniel Suarez. Let me cover up the box right there. Even though Suarez did drive the 41 next season after the model year of this car. Here's Kurt Busch and his 2018 Haas CNC Darlington Throwback for Stewart Haas Racing. This is a pretty cool diecast, and I remember when I first got this one, this was one of my favorite Ford Fusion diecasts at the time. This throwback here for Kurt Busch. It is such a great tribute to Kurt Busch's 2003 Rubbermaid paint scheme. That was a pretty cool paint scheme on its own. Really, I get really nostalgic thinking about that Darlington finish. I was not born to see that live, but man, that was a crazy finish right there. But yeah, this is the paint scheme that he ran in that race. The Rubbermaid primary at the time. Here it is. It's a cool diecast, man. I mean, to have this on the Ford Fusion with Kurt Busch as the driver. It's the same driver of the car, the same paint scheme of the car, and his current ride at the time. This was one of the coolest things to have back in 2018. I really like this diecast. This was like my second favorite diecast of 2018 for me. This was a really cool diecast. Like, a lot of my favorite diecasts from 2018 were like the Darlington Throwbacks. Those are great cars. So let's take a look at this diecast a little bit closer. So you got number 41, you got Fusion, the little Haas anniversary logo at the time. You have Ford, the Ford Fusion design right there, which looks really cool. The Ford Fusion was always a cool looking stock car, especially this newer model of it. You have Haas CNC right there, where Rubbermaid used to be, in the exact Rubbermaid like type of logo right there. Pretty nice to see that. Of course, you got Moog, Mao, does that say competition something? Edelbrock and Sunoco. You have Goodyear, Mechanics Wear, you have 3M, Lincoln Welders, and another logo that I'm not able to read. Is that Flowmasters? You have the NASCAR throwback logo. You got a bit of a chip, but this diecast has always had that. It's not something that I did when I owned it. You have number 41 right there. You got KB41. You got Ford, Mobile One, Haas, Code 3, and Rush Truck Centers. You have the little Haas tool stylized to look like a Sharpie. You have, let's see, Exalta, SCM, and man, I really cannot read how small these logos are. You got Haas CNC, you got State Water Heaters, you have Haas and Mobile One. The Haas CNC just colors kind of go with the scheme that this had back then, with the silver, red, and black and white. So cool to see that. Of course, the white Goodyears just makes it much more of an accurate throwback. Just the color scheme of Haas. They didn't have to change it, do anything radical like some other teams do. Some other teams, they take the throwback and really change the colors. Like Harvick's Sunny Delight car from 2023. You have Haas right there, Haas CNC, America's Machine Tool. You got Ford, and of course you got 41 right there with the old Ford Fusion taillights. You have the small spoiler for the 2018 diecast. Of course, you have Haas CNC, America's Machine Tool, Kurt Busch, and a Haas CNC. So for the paint scheme itself, it has been spray painted red, and of course it has like that Sharpie swoosh on the side with the side skirts in black as well, which looks really cool. The Sharpie swoosh, and they have like a Sharpie looking thing on the side, although that is a Haas Machine Tool. Really cool. And of course the swoosh, we'll get more into the details of that. I just couldn't wait to point that out. You're gonna have a white splitter, a black spoiler, and of course you're gonna have the lower lip of the front end in red, because the upper half of the hood, we'll get to that in the diecast review if I can zoom in and review this a little better. Here's the front of it right there. Of course the lower lip of the front is red, and then of course you have the gray wrapped around the hood right there. It doesn't wrap all the way over the side wheel wells, but it's definitely a little bit past the roof and all the way onto the roof. The little black hood opening right there. Now, unfortunately, it's just like a light gray color. It's not a legitimate like silver color, which probably would have been used back then. But it still looks good. Because, you know, it probably would have been hard to, like, paint on metallic and then wrap red all the way around at the time. But it still looks cool. I mean, gray, red, and black, and white. Cool color combination right there. Pretty awesome. Then, of course, back to the swoosh I was talking about. The iconic Sharpie swoosh swoops across the side. A little over the 41. Of course, you got the black through the top of the 41. The black side skirts. And, of course, the swoop is going to continue onto the back. And eventually cover up the entire back bumper black. Except this, like, upper portion up here stayed red. Probably just for the diecast. I don't know if the real life paint scheme has, like, the red lip like that up there. Of course, over the black splitter, everything else is red. And that's a pretty simple paint scheme. But, time for the numbers. You have a light gray with a thin black outline and a white number fill-in. That's the type of color scheme that was very similar to the one that was used back then. Maybe a little bit changed, but it's pretty much a similar color scheme to the original from 2003. So you got it on the roof and both sides. And under the headlight as well. It might be a different looking 41. It looks like it has more of a reddish out. Nah, it's just like a black 41 with a white number fill-in. Black outline with a white number fill-in for under the headlights and the tail. Under the tail light is actually the same one as on the roof. But the one under the headlight here is different. Alright, that's probably just a design choice. The red on here looks pretty nice. It honestly kind of looks like the one from back then because, to be honest, this red looks different than the red used on a lot of other die-casts. Like, there's, like, different shades of these colors, right? Different shades of red, different shades of, like, black or silver. This one looks like it has a sort of different red than the other, so it's more of like a retro sort of early 2000s red. That's as good as I can describe it. Of course, you have the black roof rails up there. And, of course, this was a Gold Series diecast. You could have also gotten it in the Authentics line back then. This is also available in the Authentics. I was able to get mine in the Gold Series, thank God, because it looks better on the Gold Series, to be honest, with the black interiors and the windshield banner. This is a cool-looking car. Brings back a lot of good memories of when he was driving that Rubbermaid number 97 car, which this is a throwback of. Really cool to see Kurt Busch get behind the wheel. Unfortunately, he was not able to win in this race that he did this throwback. But nonetheless, it was very cool to see him run it again. Here's another close-up. We're going to get some more close-up views of this diecast right here. Pretty cool throwback. Really, really nice. Just a cool paint scheme. Honestly, I would not have minded if they kept this scheme like this as the primary in 2018, because this is the definitive Kurt Busch paint scheme, in my opinion. Of course, you have the American Ethanol, like, hole right there. Yeah, guys, just such a cool car. This is kind of a new type of 360 view. We're just gonna, like, just pan around this diecast, because it just looks amazing, man. I love this car. This is such a great paint scheme for Kurt Busch. The color combination is bang on. Maybe someday I'll find that Rubbermaid car. Hopefully I find it. There's also probably an exclusive, well, not probably, there is, I've seen it, exclusive 2-pack that has the Ricky Craven Tide car and the Rubbermaid car together with like a Darlington like track display on it. Oh man, that thing would be so cool to own. But yeah, guys, that has been the review of Kurt Busch and his 2018 Haas CNC Darlington Throwback. A throwback to the 2003 Rubbermaid number 97 for Roush Racing. That old Ford Taurus. Now we have it on the Fusion. And now we have it on the Camry because Tyler Reddick decides to run this scheme again on the 45. And honestly, between that one and this one, between the Tyler Reddick throwback, which if they make the diecast of that, I'll pick it up and review it. But yeah, that car compared to this one, I definitely say this is the better one. Although the Tyler Reddick one actually has metallic on it. You know, that car actually had a metallic paint scheme and all that with the silver and stuff like that. So that car in that regard is better, but in terms of just overall accuracy to how the scheme, what it was like, this is definitely the better one between the Reddick and the Kurt Busch. So, yeah, if you guys don't have this diecast, I mean, look around for it, maybe in, like, diecast tents and stuff, but I'd say this is a pretty hard car to get now, especially Kurt Busch being retired. So, yeah, a really, really cool diecast. Hopefully you guys are able to find it. The last place I would probably check if you're looking for this is probably the Circle B diecast. And if they don't have it there, if someone has the Authentics one and they want to sell it, definitely check there as well. But yeah, pretty cool diecast, pretty cool throwback. Of course, the white Goodyears with the printing on the wheel well and the wheels. White Goodyears making it look sharp. The retro style contingencies, which is something pretty cool from back then. I mean, look at that. Look how retro the contingencies are, man. Check that out. Check that out. How cool is that? Really nice car, guys. So, thank you all for checking out this diecast review. What do you guys think of it? Leave a comment telling me what you guys think of this diecast. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you all for checking out this diecast review. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecast, because, man, this is one cool Kurt Busch throwback.